In this lesson, we're going to cover availability. Now, availability in information security is used to ensure that information, systems, and resources are accessible and operational when needed by authorized users. In simpler terms, availability is all about making sure that services, systems, and data are always available when they're supposed to be. Let's pretend for a moment that you have an important online meeting scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow, but just minutes before that, your internet connection goes down. This would be super frustrating for you, and now you're not going to be able to attend the meeting, right? Well, this situation emphasizes the importance of availability in our increasingly connected world. Just as you'd want your internet to always be up and running, especially during critical times, in that same vein, businesses need their systems and services to be available around the clock to meet their customer demands and to maintain their brand's reputation. When you're considering which system or service provider to use, you're often going to hear them refer to their availability status by a number of nines that they can provide. For example, 3 nines of availability equates to 99.9% uptime. This means that in a standard calendar year with 365 days, we have 8,760 hours available. So, a system with 99.9% uptime can be down for a maximum of 8.76 hours. If that's too much downtime for you, though, you can actually go and find a provider who has more nines of availability. For example, I used to work for a service provider that had to maintain 5 nines of availability. Now, 5 nines is considered to be the gold standard, and this means we have to achieve a system uptime of 99.999%. Now, if you translate this into minutes or hours, this actually means that our system has to guarantee that we are going to have a downtime of no more than 5.26 minutes in any given calendar year. Achieving this gold standard of availability ensures that services and applications are virtually always going to be accessible to our users, and it minimizes disruptions and potential revenue loss events. To put this into perspective, while a 99% uptime may seem high, it still allows you to have over 3.5 days of downtime per year, whereas the 5 nines of availability slashes that down to a mere 5 minutes. This level of reliability means we're going to have a robust infrastructure, proactive monitoring, redundancy measures, and swift disaster recovery mechanisms in order to achieve 5 nines of availability. Now, as cybersecurity professionals, we do value availability because it helps us to ensure business continuity, to maintain our customer trust, and to uphold our organization's reputation. Now, first, we need to talk about ensuring business continuity. Every minute your system is down, your business might be facing significant losses. For an e-commerce site, this could mean a direct loss in sales. For a hospital, it could mean a life-threatening situation if a critical system isn't operational. For example, in the telecommunications industry, a single hour of downtime can cost them, on average, $2 million. That means that for every minute of downtime, they are losing about $33,000 per minute. Second, we have maintaining customer trust. Now, if customers can't access their accounts, purchase their products, or use services because your system is down, their trust in your company is going to go down. If you suffer from a prolonged unavailability event, this can actually cause your customers to look for alternative solutions and purchase products or services from your competitors, causing you to lose revenue. Third and finally, we have upholding your organization's reputation. Now, if you have repeated downtime events, this is not only going to affect your business operations, but also tarnishes your organization's image in the long run, and this will make it more challenging to regain those customers' confidence in your organizations if they leave you for another provider. Now, in order to overcome the challenges associated with maintaining high levels of availability, the best strategy is to use redundancy in all of your systems and network designs. Now, redundancy is the duplication of critical components or functions of a system with the intention of enhancing its reliability. In simple words, it's about having backup options to ensure uninterrupted service. If one of your systems fails, the backup should take over, ensuring constant availability. Think of it as having a spare tire in your car. If one tire gets punctured, you're able to go out and immediately replace it with your spare and continue your journey without a significant delay. For example, I used to live on the island of Puerto Rico, and down there we often face hurricanes and other natural disasters that could affect our business operations. Now, to overcome the threat of losing internet at my office, I actually had 3 different internet connections. One was from a dedicated microwave wireless service provider, one was a connection from my local cable company, and one was provided by a cellular modem. Now, if the microwave link went down, then our systems automatically switched over to the cable modem. If the cable modem also went down, we would switch over to the cellular modem. This way, regardless of what kind of outage occurred, we had redundancy in place to maintain the continuity of our operations. Now, there are various types of redundancy that you need to consider when you're designing your systems and your networks. This includes server redundancy, data redundancy, network redundancy, and power redundancy. First, we have server redundancy. Server redundancy involves using multiple servers in a load balance or failover configuration so that if one of those is overloaded or fails, the other servers can take over the load and continue to support your users. Second, we have data redundancy. Data redundancy involves storing data in multiple places. This way, if one storage site fails, the data can still be accessed from another location. Often, we achieve this locally using RAIDs or using a hybrid of on-premise and cloud-based backup systems. Third, we have network redundancy. Now, network redundancy ensures that if one network path fails, the data can still travel through another route. This is how I set up my old offices in Puerto Rico, so that if the microwave link went down, we switched over to cable. If the cable went down, we switched over to cellular, and this way, we could continue providing network connectivity to all of our users. Fourth and finally, we have power redundancy. Power redundancy involves using backup power sources like generators and uninterrupted power supply systems to ensure that your organization's systems remain operational even during periods of power disruption or outages within your local service area. So remember, availability is used to ensure that the data and systems are always ready for use when they're needed. The principle of redundancy plays a pivotal role in guaranteeing this uninterrupted service and achieving your higher levels of availability, so you should associate the term availability with redundancy because they go hand in hand. In a world where time is money and every second is going to count, ensuring the constant availability of your services is not just beneficial, it's imperative for your organization's continued success in this digital age.